Hi, I'm Yvette Nicole Brown.
Gillian Jacobs.
Danny Pudi.
Alison Bray.
Dan Hangover.
Chris McKenna.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's try to stay on target with this one because it moves so fast.
Natural
and
smile, guys.
This is
Natural smile.
Remedial Chaos Theory.
One
our
of the most
timeline
talked
episode.
about episodes of Community's third season, possibly its entire run.
Yeah.
And the one that we shot for the longest. I think we shot this for 6 months.
Yeah.
Off and on.
Yeah.
3 different directors.
3 different directors.
The
6
DGA
million
can't
years
know
in the
about
making.
that.
Oh, they don't.
Chris,
One.
Chris, you basically directed it. I'm kidding.
This episode aired out of order. I think we should put it in the correct order. This is episode 303. It aired as if it was 304, hence the ADR joke you hear Gillian brilliantly making when they're outside the door in the beginning. It should have aired before 304, but it was that difficult to edit that we needed an extra week.
And it wasn't fully shot yet.
Yeah, I mean, like this thing was a monster.
And then you had the graphics also, right? The timeline map graphics.
Yeah,
right.
that was something that we did, had the Duncan brothers do. We'll talk about that when it comes up. We'll give them their props.
Bienvenido de la casa Ches Trobe.
One of my favorite jokes.
I always say this, and people don't believe me, but like I really didn't think that I didn't know whether or not people were going to like this episode at all. We didn't know and especially with this one when you're like all of this timeline repetition, they're just talking about nothing, and we thought. Like Chris had to bear the brunt of this. So like he was the most inside it, and it was like it was like the blind leading the blind. Like you just don't know at a certain point whether what you're doing is worth doing at all, and you kind of I don't know. You just sort of like trudge along and try to finish it, and then and then you air it, and now I watch it and I go, oh, of course it's fantastic. Of course everyone loves it, but it's not until after they say they love it that you know that.
How painful was this to think about and talk about in the writers' room?
Oh, it's definitely the most difficult thing we've ever done in the writers' room. It was a nightmare for McKenna, and Gans helped a lot on it, right? And it was just
I lost my family.
You can go online and you can see in my Tumblr blog I posted. I don't know what you'd have to Google to find it, but I took photos of the whiteboards where they broke the stories around the little Dan Harmon story circles. That one circle for each of the timelines. It looks like a Manson diary. It's insane.
There were so many. I mean, Dan had the basic, the idea, and when working it out with him and the other writers who were in there, it was mostly I think Gans and Basilone and Mebin. We just went kind of nuts trying to figure out, because it was that whole thing where you're going to be repeating stuff, but if you're going to get repeating stuff, it's going to drive everyone crazy to hear the same stuff over and over again. Therefore each one had to be distinct, but it had to be organic, and then you had to give everyone sort of something different that would pay off in a different way. It definitely drove us mad.
We shot every opening of this from every possible angle for every one of the 6 timelines.
Different scenarios, yeah.
And they ended up doing what? Printing just one, right? Didn't they just use the one?
The same opening?
So these graphics.
All I'm hearing is a complaint.
Just giving information about the shooting,
Hey,
brother.
make
Just
sure you
telling you how
inflection
the shooting
up. Inflection up at the end.
Not a complaint, just explaining. And it wasn't on you
it was
anyway.
hard.
The director decided that. You didn't decide that.
When we writers strive to make quality television, we have to cast a wide net, and you actors are the fiber that we make the net out of.
It wasn't your decision.
We're
it was
the
the director's
catgut.
decision. To
Your
do that.
lives and your families are the
walls.
Yvette, we have to get some more pickups of blood spraying in your face right after this, if that's okay.
Yeah, they're still shooting this episode, everybody. They're still... That bloodshot thing, man.
I wasn't there. What happened?
Oh, my God. I did it, 5 times? We redid blood and fresh makeup because the spray wasn't right. It got so bad, I said, just spray me while I'm still sprayed. Like, just figure it out.
A lot of moving pieces.
Because
Wait, you wanted to be sprayed with blood while already sprayed?
No. I mean, like, wipe it off and spray it again because Sari, the makeup artist, had to keep they had to clean me off, and she had to do a fresh face and makeup for every time I had to redo it.
Right.
And here's a quick turnaround.
And this is where Gillian, that's the birth
This is the gif of the world. That gif loved it. Everybody loved
Was that dance improvised, choreographed?
That was all Gillian.
I think Gans pitched the lyrics, and Gillian made it her own.
And it is beloved. It's been requested at panels.
the character of Britta is you can't give credit to any one writer. I mean, because Gans wasn't even on the staff first season. Like Hillary Winston was a huge part of Britta's voice in that first season. But then when Gans came on board, like Gans loves Britta, and that's when the kind of stoner, clumsy, liberal, like goofball kind of aspect of Britta comes in. And her love affair with Troy, who's a sincere, heroic character. I remember sitting in the drawing room at a bar in Los Angeles, and Gans talking me back into a certain aspect of the Troy Britta scene in the bathroom. I can't remember what it was that I was thinking of killing, but she made this impassioned plea about Britta and Troy's relationship.
Torg.
Here's the introduction of Torg.
Chevy's best friend in season 3.
I would sing you a song that we wrote about Torg, but I'm not allowed to.
Torg, I think, made it his name made it, I think, into one draft, and it's never mentioned in the episode, and it just took on his life of its own on the set.
Let us have this, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let us have this.
I definitely regret that, because I think that's the important thing about Community is that you give the fans things that they can latch on to. And it's like the cast loved Torg and knew him by name, and of course the audience would have done the same thing. And
They do know his name now. They found
Yeah,
out. There's
crazy.
people tweeting pictures of Torgs that they found, that they've looked in thrift stores and stuff.
like an idiot, I removed the naming of him from the script, like a fucking moron.
Well, it lives on.
Yeah.
Torg is that powerful.
Torg lives.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Karen Black trilogy of terror. Like movies from like the late 70s, but when I was really little, my older brothers and sisters showed them to me, and it was about a little doll that comes to life, and definitely inspired.
Wow.
Yeah,
Chevy
comes
really
to life and tries to kill Karen Black, and it's one of the scariest things.
Wait, what was that from? I think
Trilogy of Terror.
This is before
I
Chucky.
saw that.
Adios, Pito.
I don't know why she's so upset. Her pies probably didn't burn in the other timelines.
By the way, the fan is foam.
The
You hitting your head on the fan is an aspect of this episode that got away from me, that I was bummed to see in the edit bay. Like it was supposed to. I don't know if it scans as much as it should have. That Jeff, when he hits his head on the fan, when Annie's there, he plays it off like it doesn't hurt. But wait, there's some kind of subtle thing about how the way he reacts to hitting his head on the fan, depending on who's at the table, that it kind of fell through the cracks. I thought it was one of the more interesting aspects of the episode. Like her.
It could have been my acting, though.
Was it always
I don't know
Roxanne?
who was on set.
Did we always?
McKenna.
That's true. When people were on set. Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose, because I stepped up into that thing for that shot every time. I don't think anyone was there. Or maybe they were. I don't remember.
We had so much trouble with that fan. Remember?
They had to
It was also
swap,
cast-
swap it
they
out.
had to-
They
'cause
sometimes it was
making
there.
shadows and
yeah,
everything.
so they swapped it
Yeah.
out when he wasn't going to hit it. They took it out, and sometimes it was real. Like it wasn't always the foam because they put the regular one back up there sometimes when it didn't have to move.
By the way, that kid is not a baby version of me. It was one of the prop ladies, I think, sons.
I was smoking a cigarette.
Now, is this the impetus for the Britta Troy romance?
Basically, yeah. I thought probably because this is early in the season. I
love
That's a great joke.
And this is, it's the idea that Troy is a non-polluted version of Jeff Winger, that he's the young buck kind of up and coming, and that he hasn't had a chance yet to become jaded, and that Jeff has already had Britta, and that Jeff and Britta are like siblings, but that Troy is now like becoming a man, and that what Britta says to him, that you don't have to be like that. And Jeff says that to Troy and Abed all the time too. You don't have to be like me. It's really cool to me. Like Troy's character, he's 100% sincere. Sometimes we play him as Jethro from the Beverly Hillbillies or Woody from Cheers. He's just dumb, and that's the joke. But moreover, it's just he's guileless. He's credulous. He's sincere,
And he just happens to be one of the biggest rappers in the world.
With dance bands.
I miss all the fun.
I wonder what happened in all those other timelines.
What kind of pizza is that? Where do we get it?
2 Boots, right?
2 Boots.
It's good.
Yeah, it was good.
A place I loved in New York.
In one of
and
the
is now
first
in-
drafts, actually, I just remember that Britta actually takes Troy into the bedroom and closes the door. That's how the timeline ends. That shit. That everyone stands there and goes, "What?"
At one point, I think we wanted them to kiss. I mean, that was the thing. It was also like going, oh, let's not have every single one be fireworks. How can you just have little sparks, like, to keep things alive? Doesn't feel like, okay, well, none of this is believable because someone's getting murdered in every
Right.
timeline.
Those graphics that we keep seeing, those very Time Bandit inspired cosmic schematics, where we watch the die go through, that's courtesy of the Duncan brothers, who are Channel 101 alumni. They also did the Starburns memorial video at the end of the Starburns Way
awesome.
episode. They're brilliant, aggressive, like incredibly talented, resourceful, professional little fellas.
And they mailed
so
me.
much better than your original idea of have it go rewind every time. Remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know it was a joke.
I got that timeline map, the graphic, and I put it on the crew gifts.
yeah.
Well, thanks to Neil Goldman, I think everyone in the country has one.
How dare you? We've given away 8 of them. I think actually we've
Every
given away
fan,
12
every
of them.
fan has one now.
Yeah,
No, that's a great sweatshirt.
it makes a trend worldwide.
Doesn't
thank
that
God.
also say hashtag 6 seasons in a movie?
Yeah, on the sleeve.
That's
I think original draft we had them kissing, and we saved it to later on. I think it helped.
What's going on in here?
Here's to terrorizing Troy because he's jealous we moved in together.
You're the one who's jealous.
Why would I be jealous?
You're just completely explain. Like, you're not helping at all.
Yeah,
You're
no.
just like, oh, here you go. Here's why this is happening.
He's terrorizing him. Let him play out.
Oh,
yes.
Tarpinian.
Tarpinian.
You know who was originally this was supposed to be?
Yes.
Yeah, who was it again?
Josh Brolin.
That's right.
Then Bryan Cranston.
Then Brian Cranston.
Wait, who was first?
And then
Josh
so
Brolin
on and so
Brian
on.
Cranston.
We went
Yes.
to that's
At one point, we were trying to get Eminem,
that's the
Oh, yeah.
street
Oh, yeah, that's
cred
right.
of our
and
show.
we
We got turned down by Jason Biggs. at
yeah,
the end.
Jason Biggs
Did we
passed
really?
on the
Yeah.
role of the pizza guy.
Oh man.
Sorry, Sonny Legal. But it's true. We wanted to be like the thing is that there was an actor who's researching
role.
the role of a pizza delivery guy, and that's who comes up. And Britta's going to go off to Hollywood with him and be his assistant. But it turned out better. We got Tarpinian.
Yeah, he has great hair, a lot of it.
I'm checking on my pies.
There we go.
When I went off to write the writer's draft, we did not have the Raiders thing. It was just like, then a Goldbergian, Rube Goldberg kind of thing happens, like a broom falls over and something. And then, when in doubt, always rely on one of your favorite movies. And
This.
Oh my God.
Oh,
this
yes.
nearly killed us.
Yep.
Oh god, this is so. It's God, that's disgusting.
yeah.
Yeah.
One take.
This was and if you'll see,
6 takes of makeup
That's McKenna like
now look at
putting
this,
that in.
look at this blanket I'm holding.
And Chris and I added that in last
There
second.
we go. That's I'm very excited about.
Oh yeah, the little
Picking up
yeah.
Indy before
So
helping
great.
someone with a bullet.
I think I
in his
made them
head.
go back.
Yeah.
We got to go get
We
that.
gotta get that.
So at the beginning of the season, I said this is the season where it's not fair that Abed just gets to be the cool one.
He should-
We have to show that
Sometimes he's distracted a little bit.
well, there's a price.
Yeah,
There's there's bad qualities to him. And you really see it in this. Like he almost murders Shirley for not getting there for making pizza, and we know that in the event that someone gets shot in their femoral artery and it's spraying blood in Shirley's face,
if Indy is down,
he will he will straighten an action figure before calling 911.
I don't know if it was in the writer's draft or later. Remember, we had him actually confront. Like, remember?
Oh God! Oh
we
my
had
God!
a really
yes.
intense scene where in this
That was one of my biggest regrets is cutting that. There's a timeline where Abed and Shirley end up alone together, and Abed crosses the room and says to her, he does like a little like paragraph that's like,
you ever fuck with me again. Like you get 3. You've done.
I give everyone 2. You get 3. Let's try one with that pizza. It's like I won't tell her. And it's like similarly, if you tell people I said this, I'll deny it.
that was in the table read. That was in the table read. I remember that now. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things ever.
Why did it get cut?
It's just time. There's so much in this episode
Yeah.
that had to get cut. There's the thing in the bathroom is that like there's a whole thing in the bathroom where Abed would say to Britta when she came out of the bathroom, instead of smells weird, he would say, "Did you release the Kraken?"
That's right.
And
That's
so I
right.
go, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? That's so rude. But it would turn out later that the reason he's saying that is because Troy had made a special toilet in the bathroom that plays a movie quote every time you flush the toilet. And one of the quotes is "Release the Kraken." And
I
so,
think I blew that at the table because I said Kraken. No, what did I say? Kraken. I said
Oh, right.
Kraken.
Release the Kraken, and we just like we felt so
I
bad
eventually had
for
to
you.
cut it out. I had to kill so many babies in this episode. I remember
Sorry,
4 in the
David.
morning sending Gans and McKenna home, and I just said to them, it was like taking Lenny down to the river. I said, you guys, I think we're in good shape. Go on home.
And we come
Really?
back
I was like,
and
yeah, take off.
you
Go on
killed
home.
the Kraken?
And then I texted him later, like I edited the fuck
so
out of
much
this episode.
There's so much stuff that we had. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that had to be taken out. I mean, we had a phone call that was causing Jeff to stand up every time. It was like this hang up call.
And then
and then
it turned out it was the
turns out
dean.
the dean who's just calling to see where Jeff is. And the only reason why you know that is in the Jeff timeline, Britta picks it up because Jeff's getting the pizza, and
He's
the
like, "Who's
dean's like,
this?"
"Who is this? What do we know with Jeff?"
One of the coolest things about this episode is that it gives you Jeff and Annie shippers, who I adore and support. It gives you something that you want, but you get to hit the reset button, and you get to get a glimpse of the fact that, look, I mean, maybe not a great idea for a 19-year-old girl and a 35-year-old guy to however old Jeff is, God knows, 47.
I think he's about 60.
Maybe not a good idea for them to hook up just because they look cute together. I mean, maybe they're, it's we're not saying it's not allowed and blah blah blah, but at the same time we get to see it, but we play it realistically, and I thought that was really cool.
And plus, like you said, we get to set up so many of the things that were themes that we got to explore throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Like even like the little dickish moments with Abed are great because then obviously he becomes a real liability at times throughout the season.
If there's one bad thing about this episode, it's that it set the bar way too high. It's so great that and people loved it so much that God damn it, did we ever get back up here? Like
Glee came after this. So
it was the same with
amazing.
paintball at the end of the first season. It was just paintball. And every review of every subsequent episode was the timeline episode. Became a yardstick.
Allison fought for that.
She
crafty
fought so
Jack.
hard.
I'm so glad it made it in.
It gave
She could
her a
barely-
lot of joy.
She could barely say it without cracking up.
Yes, Jeffrey did. Yes, we did.
Oh, like it matters who goes.
So funny. Karma.
How much did you pay for Roxanne?
Oh boy. We got Sting to sign off on it. I mean, but it was basically we couldn't have music for a while.
Yeah.
We're still using Daybreak. I don't know what that.
Michael Hackett.
Now, are we saying Jeff is a bad person or Jeff is holding the group back? No, that's not what we're saying. But we're never saying anything. We're telling stories. Jeff's personality, Jeff's archetype is he's the leader. So you need a leader sometimes, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes the best thing is to have anarchy. Sometimes clumsy, silly people need to do whatever they wanted to do and just be dumb together. And Jeff goes out for pizza, and what needed to happen happens.
But then again, maybe this shouldn't have happened. Believe me, when it was going to be you guys dancing around, Dan and I were just like, I don't know. We pictured this around the table.
Yeah.
But actually, I think it's joyous and
Notice
fun,
how
and
I'm not
people
eating
love
a crust.
it. Yeah, believe me.
Yeah. Oh yes. I love this.
But yeah, remember? So the first year Sony executive emailed Neil. He wasn't even head of current programming anymore. He emailed him to let him know. Loved that episode, except for the tag. and Sony's big note on this one: get rid of the tag.
Love
We
it.
don't like the timeline tag.
Great. It sets up
so
everything.
much. It's incredible.
People really flipped for this. It was really
I
exciting
love
to see people
that.
going nuts.
Just the example
Just
of
showing
the
it.
harm.
This,
I love it.
the voice box. I mean, oh.
Destroy a flaming troll doll by eating it. Life has gone back.
Perfect sound.
like a
perfect sound.
Did it make his nose itchy? What do you think?
I promise you that every episode of the fourth season will be this great. I
All
broke
six
up
of
with
them.
my girlfriend, and then we got pulled off the air, and This is a taste of what the 4th season will be.
I should have caught the die and not let you.
Who would have thought? I mean,
It was funny because I think the germ
goatees-
of this. Remember this was when we thought we were gonna get like Bryan Cranston. Oh, because in one of the realities when Abed goes down to get the pizza, he is like, "Hey, that guy from Breaking Bad, you know, he's the delivery guy.
right.
I just sold him a movie pitch."
That's
And then
right.
we were gonna do it. We were going to do the tag is like in the future. Abed is now like
He's like on Charlie
Rose
yeah.
as a successful screenwriter, and Troy is now like
married to Abed, married to Britta,
and they have a little baby named Chewbacca,
which Troy has convinced Britta is an African name.
and he's watching his friend bitterly as he's like, you know, talking about his great screenwriting career. That was sort of the germ of like, oh, we got to do alternate timeline. The
I just love the idea that Britta is so pop culturally deaf that she would never accept a Star Wars reference for a baby, but he convinced her it's like a Nubian name or something. And so, of course, she has to.
means wise son, Swahili.
Awesome. Thanks for watching.
What's wrong? I don't know.
We got out just in space. Well, I certainly walked right into that one, didn't I?
I guess nothing.